Okay, part 2, and unfortunately we start part 2 right in the middle of the match. So, Primo does a suicide dive onto Jericho on the outside. This is a great ending. Commentators totally ruin it. Carlito tries to do one of his springboard moves, springboard back elbow, something like that, from the springboard from the second rope, and Jericho just pushes Primo into the ropes, who knocks Carlito over, and Edge spears Carlito. Great ending, very good match, ruined by the commentators, who accompanied, immediately after the match, they accompanied it with just dead air. They didn't speak for 30 seconds or something because they didn't know what had happened. Totally embarrassing. This was a very good match. Edge and Jericho made their opponents look really good. They made it look like it could go either way when, of course, there was only ever going to be one result for this match. Speaking of matches, there's only ever going to be one result for. Cena versus The Miz. That's up next. Night of Champions tournament, first round and also semi-final match. This match made The Miz look a hell of a lot better than he did at the Bash. Why they didn't just wrestle his match at the Bash, I have no idea. They showed the promo from the Bash for this match, which I like because I think it's a very good promo, although it was just filling time here for no reason. If I was to ideally book the Miz-Cena match, it would be this. I would have the beginning of the match at the Bash, where Cena just humiliates The Miz. I would actually have that in the match. Then I'd have this bit of Raw, where The Miz just dominates Cena completely. And then I'd have a much closer finish than we've had in either match, where it looks like The Miz might win, and then Cena wins eventually. It's fine that Cena wins, but they've got to make The Miz look good. You can't bury people. But anyway, so Cena does the same dismissive stuff he was doing last night. Not as good as last night, at the Bash, I mean, not last night. Which was fine, and then The Miz just kicks the shit out of him. He just kicks the shit out of him. It was great. I really enjoyed it. John Cena hits another one of his terrible fisherman suplexes. I don't know why he does that move. But yeah, The Miz just totally destroys him. He does the reality check. I believe it's the reality check. The one that's the high knee, then the neck breaker. Which is his finisher. Which the commentators don't react to. They don't even call it a running bulldog or anything. But yeah, just pathetic commentary. Pathetic. That gets a 2 count. And yeah, The Miz just dominates him. Cena goes for an FU from the top rope, and The Miz gets out of the way and electric chairs him, and it just seemed like The Miz had an answer to everything that Cena did. Eventually, Cena gets back into it, and I would have had a much more competitive finish in this, but they decided to make Cena look strong, which is fair enough because he's been playing that he's been getting absolutely annihilated for the last 7 minutes or something, which was longer than the match at the Bash. So drop toe hold, shoulder box, power bomb, 5-knuckle shuffle, blockbuster, top rope leg drop, and then the STF. And The Miz taps out too quickly again, but what can you do? It was much better. Anyway, so next week it's going to be Cena versus Triple H, and they show us the brackets to prove this, because I was having trouble. It was like, Triple H won the first match, and John Cena won the second match, so who's in the final? Please show me some brackets to clear this up. No one needs that, alright? But yeah, I'm kind of interested. Not in any kind of real way. I don't really care, but I don't know who's going to win. I'm fairly sure Triple H will win, or it'll be some kind of no decision or something like that, or The Miz will interfere and Cena will lose because of that, but it could be some kind of like double pin or some kind of nonsense that gets them both in the match somehow. I'm feeling a 3-way dance at Night of Champions, something like that. Anyway, then we have Randy Orton talking to Rhodes and DiBiase backstage. Basically, he's shouting at Rhodes and DiBiase, and they're still playing up this thing they were playing up at the Bash, that Legacy might be getting sick of Randy Orton because he treats them poorly, etc., etc. He lectures DiBiase, and DiBiase tells him that the $1 Million Man's going to be the next guest host, which I'm really happy about, because Ted DiBiase Sr. is really good. He was an exceptional wrestler, and he was fucking amazing on the mic. How his son turned into be such a no talent. I mean, he delivered the worst promo ever here as well. I have no idea. But yeah, I'll be glad to see the real Ted DiBiase show up next week, so that'll be good. Then we had a Divas Fatal 4-Way match to determine #1 contendership between Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Mickie James, and Rosa Mendez. I have no idea why she's in this match either. No clue. Maurice comes out to commentate after the first two have entered the ring, and Michael Cole says, "No, Maurice is not in this match." I was like, really? She's not in a #1 contendership match for the Divas title, being the Divas champion? But anyway, this match was terrible. The best thing about this match was Maurice on commentary, to be honest. I quite like Maurice on commentary. It's kind of tough because English isn't her first language and she struggles sometimes. Lots of weird things happen. There seemed to be some kind of lesbian thing going on with Kelly. I don't know. She was like implying that she found Kelly attractive, but also that she found her a weak opponent. I think that was the whole idea, and the King was just, he was salivating. It was kind of pathetic. Just like this match. I also like the fact that Maurice treated Michael Cole with contempt and suggested that he mispronounced her name. I thought that was funny. But anyway, this match was terrible. Everyone looked terrible. Beth Phoenix, possibly the only exception, but really everyone looked terrible. There was a horrible sequence in this where Mickie James locked Beth Phoenix in a dragon sleeper, which looked like a botch. It looked like they'd been trying to do something else and they just failed horribly. And then all three other divas locked in the best submission hold they can think of, which was a sleeper hold. In fact, was it even a sleeper? It might have just been a reverse chin lock. Oh my god, they're incompetent. Few pinning combinations, all this sort of stuff. Beth hits her finisher on Kelly, but gets thrown out of the ring and her head hits the ring step. That was about the best bit of the match. And Maurice laughed, which was kind of funny. And then a rubbish leaping DDT from Mickie James on Rosa Mendez. Terrible. Rosa Mendez can't sell, as it turns out. She can't do anything else either. Why is she here? And then Mickie James and Maurice stare each other down. Then we had the Big Show versus Kofi Kingston. Apparently the Big Show, after getting that push when he was unstoppable again, apparently if he wins this match, that's right, if he wins this match, he gets a shot at the US title. This isn't a shot at the US title, only if he wins it. This was terrible. The Big Show's crap. Kofi Kingston's half brilliant, half rubbish. Tell you what is brilliant, his version of Fulcrum City Blues, the move Christian does, that the way he does it is so awesome. But he's no good at that leaping into the mounted punches thing, and he was definitely no good against the Big Show, who's far too tall for that move anyway. Big Show throws him to the outside, and referee starts counting. Kofi Kingston, at 8, pushes the Big Show's head into the ring post. So this would be your classic count-out victory, right? Kofi Kingston beats the Big Show by count-out, Big Show still looks strong and all that. No, the referee just counted them both out. What was the point? I have no idea why you do a count-out finish. A double count-out. I mean, surely Kofi Kingston nicks the upset win. That's the whole idea. But no, apparently not. Apparently that would make sense, so it didn't happen. So yeah, the Big Show walks off in a huff. Load of nonsense. Anyway, let's turn over to part 3 so I can do this 3-on-1 gauntlet. It's full justice, and also so I can talk about the 3-way trade, the 15 wrestler trade thing. Okay, turn over to part 3.